Welcome back to the Formula One driver career. It has been a while. I apologise for that. You may well have seen the reasoning for it in a FC video or an FM video. I had COVID for over a week, so that's why there's been a big delay in the next episode of this season. I apologise for that. We are round two of this season. We are in Australia. We changed the calendar around a little bit if you cast your mind back. So we took Jeddah out and we put China in. We've also added in Portugal as well in place of track I can't remember off the top of my head. But Portugal is in now as well, and China is in there too. I'm trying to look through. My brain is scanning for the race that I took out, but I can't quite recall off the top of my head what it was that we actually took out for Portugal. I'm sure Twitch chat in the moment will remind me. But we finished 5th in Bahrain in our first race for Aston Martin at our new team, of course, and hoping to keep a good point scoring run going, if not maybe even challenge for a podium here in Australia, although it is at least 50% wet race by the looks of things. So not particularly looking forward to that. And you are correct in chat. Baku is the race we removed, and Portimao is the race that we've added in Baku's place. So no Baku, no Jeddah, but there is China and Portimao. Right, I'll just go to practice. I'll get everything done, and I'll see you in qualifying, where hopefully we'll have gotten loads of resource points. I won't be dead slow, and we can hopefully have a decent race. Drop the video like, subscribe to the channel, join me on stream, and vroom vroom.
Okay, that's the test.
It reckons even though I'm slow and don't meet the lap time, it still reckons 7th for a qualifying position. So I'd absolutely take 7th, I think, as a qualifying position. To be completely honest, it's not a strong track for me. Rephrase, it's not a strong track for me, it's a strong track for the AI. There are some tracks where I'm genuinely not very good, and there are other tracks where it's genuinely just that the AI are really strong. This is one of those ones. Tracks like Monaco I just suck at, but Australia's not necessarily a circuit that I'm inherently bad at. It's just they're really strong in a straight line around here, and I, with my setup, with a bit of extra downforce to make me smoother, am not as competitive. But we'll replace some fresh parts, or replace some worn parts, sorry, with fresher parts for qualifying and then the race itself. And then fingers crossed we can... Here we go, thank you. Fingers crossed we can actually have a decent qualifying session and a decent Grand Prix. Got a lot of resource points, so I will look to spend some of those now. Drag reduction is going to be important for straight line speed stuff. For China, down that long straight, and Miami after China as well. So that's going to be important, an important upgrade to do. Not going to go anywhere near the brakes. Fuel efficiency is not that important. The ERS will be finished soon, which is good news. I might have to do the fuel efficiency to be able to get that one done though. So we'll wait and see how that progresses. I might not spend any more for now. I can only afford the fuel efficiency anyway. So that's resource points spent, and that was pretty straightforward. Now it's time for qualifying. So we're P4 currently. Stroll just put it P2. Piastri does a 16.2. Wow. That was fast. Hamilton has now just gone P2 with his lap. We're down to 5th currently. Did have quite a bit of extra fuel in actually, so I can certainly find some time with weight of car. Down to P8. Obviously, we only need to be top 15 to be through to Q2, which we're pretty much guaranteed to be. Down to P10 though. There's definitely time to be found in my lap, but I tell you what, I might not be safe. P13. We're only just squeaking through. That was not a strong lap. Only just squeaking through in P13 from Q1. That was a bit close for comfort, wasn't it? P14 now as Ocon crosses the line. Right, note to self. Be quicker. So Lance was a 16.69. To be fair, Piastri was nearly 4/10 faster than anyone in that session. I only did one run. So I wasn't necessarily dialed in, but still, we want to be quicker than that. Valtteri is out in the Alfa Romeo, along with both Hasses and both Williams. But I very nearly had a bit of a shock exit there, which is not great. I'm only through by half a tenth. We must be better in Q2. We will be better in Q2, I hope, but I won't have much of a choice. Going to be early 16, like 16.4 maybe? 16.492. I think I'm in the single digits with that. It's P4. Alright, it's faster. It's faster and it's fast enough. We're through to Q3 and that was a much better showing. Still didn't feel that quick, but it was certainly quick enough to comfortably get through. Any shock exits? Daniel Ricciardo P11 is a good result in the Alfa Romeo. There is a shock exit. That shock exit is Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari, who will start P15. And there were 5 milliseconds between myself and my teammate in that session, which says to me, we are bang where we should be. It's going to be like a 16.5 maybe. It's not great. It's not great, that. It's good enough for P8. Starting the Australian Grand Prix, barring any penalties to anyone else, from 8th place in the rain. 16.5 from me, so I was quicker in Q2. Although that Q2 time would still have had me at most a 1 row further up. McLaren, Mercedes, McLaren, Mercedes, Red Bull, Red Bull. Charles Leclerc, the Ferrari's not strong, is it? 10th and 15th for the Ferrari. It's going to be difficult in the rain. But there might be the chance to move forward with an Alpine in front of us. A couple of Red Bulls there as well that aren't going to be as competitive as the Mercedes or the McLaren. But certainly, after the way that Bahrain went, it is going to be Mercedes and McLaren that are up there. Piastri threw his race away, effectively, didn't he? Which is why he was where he was, and George Russell was on the wrong strategy. So, starting in the rain, but ending dry, it's time for the Australian Grand Prix. Well, that is sideways rain as well. It's not just raining, it's windy and raining. Sideways raining. Don't anticipate any penalties, obviously, at this early stage of the season, although it didn't stop our teammate taking one on the opening day of the season, did it? Lance Stroll took a penalty in race day 1, which is a pain in the backside. Come back to haunt us again later in the season too. I do start 8th, as we fully expected, and Stroll 9th with Leclerc 10th. Albon in his Alpha Tauri in 12th. And then Sainz there in 15th in that Ferrari. He will come through the field, you imagine, quite quickly. The key thing is, Hulkenberg did take a penalty, actually. The key thing is, how long is it going to rain for?
Okay, we've got that relief of having points on the board finally. So let's keep that form up. And
I'm gonna
top 10 finish today, please.
I'm gonna take some fuel out. I'm gonna take some fuel out because of the rain. Not a lot, but some. We'll start on the inters. Can't really do much more planning than that because we don't know how long it's going to rain for. Actually, I'll put a little bit more fuel back in just for fear that it's going to stop raining quite quickly. Starting from P8, aiming for higher, but not necessarily expecting to get there. We shall wait and see how well this car handles in the rain. Oh, quick 5 lights. Lots of wheels. Oh my God, Piastri's already got damage. I don't know what happened with Piastri and Verstappen there, but they've already come together. As have Hamilton and Perez. Literally chaos already. What happened to Piastri at the start? Did he just bog down in the gears or what? He did. Piastri bogged down in the gears. And I think Max behind him. Or Checo. Which one is it? I think that's Max. Max is just going to go straight into the back of him here. And lose his right end plate. Piastri's just getting swallowed by everyone. He's still wheel spinning everywhere. Piastri's drops down to out of the points already. Oscar Piastri's not having a great start to this season, is he really? Leading the first Grand Prix and spins out of first place and ends up finishing outside the points entirely. And then has a terrible start from third on the grid in Australia. And throws that away as well. Oh, understeer central. There's a bit of a gap back from Ocon now. Why have I got so much understeer? I haven't got any damage, have I?
Start was okay. Now stay alert for threats around you.
Car feels really understeery. Like, silly levels of understeer. That was weird. Maybe it'll go away. Maybe the tyres aren't up to temperature or something. Oscar Piastri's car wouldn't go forward, and mine felt like it wouldn't go left to right. Hamilton went deep in there. Now Verstappen carrying that damage is hopefully going to be slow and create a gap behind us. 3 seconds already to get back to Verstappen in P7. I imagine he might box though. He has indeed. So Max Verstappen in the pits for a new front wing after running into the back of Oscar Piastri. Okay, this is completely changed the outlook of the race. We're up to P6. The rain isn't going to last
Light rain will stay with us for
at least 20 minutes. So
light rain is here to stay. Inters seem to be the
it is going to be
fastest
raining
driver
until lap 20-ish, if not further than. It's going to be a long slog first stint before then probably all hell breaks loose once we get onto dry tyres. Oh, it just doesn't want to turn around there at all. There goes my gap behind. You can visibly see the understeer at times where it just plows straight on and just doesn't want to turn. Why does this car feel so horrendous in the wet? What is going on? It was absolutely fine in quali. I didn't add any front wing for the rain, no, but I didn't feel like I needed to. We're already running quite high downforce here. Piastri's back up to P8 now. He's passed Daniel Ricciardo. The Ferrari and the McLaren starting to close on me from behind.
We're slowly gaining on the car in front. Try to keep up this momentum.
I'm trying, Mark. My front left tyre is not very happy, though. Need this rain to bugger off, really. We were competitive until my front tyre started overheating, and then that competitiveness has disappeared. Piastri's having a look at Charles. I got my teammate right behind them as well, I think. Or is it? No, it's the other Alpine. Piastri's having a look and is now past Charles Leclerc. And for the first time, that front left tyre has hit 96 degrees. As the wear goes up, and that is a sign that we are still continuing to struggle here with tyre temperatures. Piastri's coming. I got a poor exit there. You're going to go that way? Through there? Alright. Going to try and go around the outside of me here, Oscar Piastri, and he's going to make it work.
Try to stay with him.
I'll try and stay with him. Easier said than done, though. Gasly's also past Leclerc, who's dropped down to 9th now. I think Piastri's just going to disappear away from us now. Man, the tyre temperature thing, when you run ABS, is just such a pain in the arse. It just defeats all wet weather running, because you know you're just going to get overheating tyres.
You're dropping a second a lap to the car behind. 1 second.
Just makes it really frustrating. But I don't want to set every race to be clear and dry, because that's just boring. Comes Pierre. Cannot get the car to turn with that hot front left. Hopefully he backs out of this. He did. Gaps to Ocon and Co in front are just growing massively now. We need a change in atmospheric conditions, and we need it quick. Ocon's going on the inside this time. They're just so much faster in a straight line. Charles Leclerc is also there too. I'm getting mugged a little bit here. This hot front left is killing my race right now. Yellow flags at the back, but that's an Alfa Romeo either going slowly or retiring. Bottas is out. VSC, I'm going to box. I'm going to box.
Drop your speed. Our delta's too low and we're going to risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately.
I'm going to get some fresh inters with a cheaper stop. And this might. If the rain is going to keep going. Hopefully everybody else also needs to pit at some point off their inters. What I need to do is just maintain this now. Keep these tyres as cool as possible. So the plan is now to try and utilise these fresh inters whilst everyone else is on worn inters and try and earn some time back. Whether that works or not, I don't know. I don't know whether everyone else will be able to make their intermediates last until it dries, or whether they will have to stop again. But they should have to stop it. They should have to stop before the rain, I think. Before the rain stops, sorry. But I had to take the opportunity. I was only going to end up continually going backwards if I just stayed as I was. So why not take the risk, make the stop, and hope that it comes back towards us in a second stint. It was a cheaper stop to get because of the VSC. Now we just have to hope to be able to pump in the lap times whilst maintaining the tyre temperature as low as we can. And make up some ground. But it is gonna rain for still another little while, supposedly. Still another 20 minutes. It's supposed to dry up at the end of the race, though. For like the last 15 laps or so, it might be dry. It should be dry. I hope it's dry. I want it to be dry. Please be dry. There you go. They're in. So we took the early VSC stop for new inters. It really hasn't worked. Well, actually, has it? No, it has. It's a long stop. That's a long stop. I didn't think that we'd actually overtake them then, but they were in the pits for ages. So we're back up to P12 currently, with a number of other drivers in front of us yet to stop again. But now my front left is overheating again. So we're effectively back to square one again. It's just that one tyre. It's so annoying. Just that one tyre. But it's making such a difference to my pace. Real pain in the arse. Lots more others in the pits now as well. They come out of the box. So we are effectively where we were. P8 behind Pierre Gasly. Slightly closer to Pierre Gasly, but he's now just going to disappear down the road, isn't he? Stop, you son of a bitch. God, I hate this bug. I don't know whether it's a bug or whether it's just a negative side effect of using some assists in the rain. And my teammate's going for it, driving into me. Well done, Lance. That was absolutely superb driving, pal. There's a retirement in front, maybe. Yellow flag. I think it's Esteban Ocon going very slowly and retiring. Esteban Ocon's out of the race. That's a free position for us, but will it cause a VSC? It will indeed. Another VSC for a car retired here. There he is. Delta's so strange. It almost started at like 2.5 seconds over then. Everybody else behind just had to do the same. Slow right up for the delta. So annoying. I'm trying to hang on here, but I am struggles. We're well and truly on the struggle bus right now. Gets to a certain point, and then, like, the gaps have been maintaining themselves, and then it gets to a certain point, and they just grow. Like, the pace and the grip just dies at about 10% with these wet tyres right now. I have to use all of my battery just to stay ahead here. I've just got a massive train behind me.
Leclerc is ahead of you. Okay, gap ahead is 0.9 seconds. They're on a fresh set of inters. Their tyres are 6 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. And the time last lap was a 1 minute 29.3. You're losing 4 seconds a lap here.
4 seconds a lap. This front hot left is costing me 4 seconds a lap. It's unbelievable. No wonder my race has fallen apart. 4 seconds a lap, mate. Are you serious? Like, they've nearly got a whole pit stop on me in front now. Breaking zone. Thank you very much for the raid. I'll read that in a sec. Trying desperately not to die. Failing quite miserably. Here comes Carlos Sainz. Oh, just when I need some front left grip, I've got absolutely nothing. I'm going to get mugged by about 5 cars here now. That's 2. That's 3. I cannot keep my front left. I can't keep the temperature down. It's costing me 3 or 4 seconds a lap just because I've got a hot front left. It's Tom Lasty. Thank you very much indeed for sending everyone across, mate. I appreciate it, man. I hope the streams are going well. Trying to just use all the battery here to stay ahead of K-Mag. He's not backing out of it. He won't give up. Kevin Magnussen never does. The idea of giving up isn't really in his vocabulary, is it? We are currently P11. Soon to probably be P12 because I cannot get the car slowed or turned in any right-handers. Desperately need this rain to stop. Now my front right's getting hot. Now we really are in trouble. With both fronts overheating, I really am screwed. We need the rain to stop, and we need the safety car to come out. That's the only thing that helps us. Oh, I'm just gonna have to get off this set, I think, as well. Unfortunately, our race in Australia is being ruined. But it's not really any fault of my own. This is a well-known thing amongst the community about front tyres, especially when running ABS, overheating. It's even worse in the wet, but it's something we've encountered numerous times at numerous tracks, and there's not really much you can do about it. You just kind of have to suck it up and hope that you don't get the weather conditions that exacerbate it. At the minute, these are those weather conditions. We qualified P8. We were running P6 before our tyres started to overheat. And now it's just been tumble, tumble, tumble. If the rain goes away, I'm competitive again. And significantly faster than a number of the people around me at the minute. Trying to get my elbows out.
Okay, so the gap to the car ahead, seconds.
I can't get it stopped. Oh, this race. We waited ages for this. Because of me having COVID, we've had to wait, especially those on YouTube, have had to wait nearly 2 weeks for the next episode of this series. And it's going like this. I can only sincerely apologise for the way that this race has transpired so far. Well and truly out of my control, unless I purposefully make it dry everywhere all the time, which I'm sure you wouldn't want to watch. And at some tracks in the rain, we don't have this issue. But here we do.
Okay, you're doing well out there. Keep it up. We're looking at about 10 more minutes of rain.
10 more minutes! Ah! Not too unhappy to see the back of Catalonia, but desperately unhappy that the fact that they've replaced it.
Okay, clear. Stay.
Logan Sargent just went for a move around the outside of me. I don't know whether there was a gap there or not. No, he's just driven into the wall. There's the safety car we needed to try and save our race, and it's all Logan Sargent's fault. I'm understeering wide, but there's still more than a car's width there, and he has just straight up, if I go on board here, he's just straight up understeered into the wall before he's even got close to being alongside me. And Logan Sargent has ruined his Grand Prix. Safety car.
Drop your speed. Our delta's too low and we're going to risk a penalty.
So I now don't know whether I box again for another set. Surely I've got to box again for another set of inters. It's just that, again, the obvious thing to do.
Right, let's have you in at the end of this lap, please.
So I'm gonna box again for another set of inters and hope that something works in my favour between now and the end of the race. I could add some more front wing in. I don't know whether that's going to make any difference. I'll add another 4 ticks of front wing in. See if that makes any difference whatsoever to our pace. Right, so we will be running dead last. Remind me when it dries up to take that front wing out. Lando is in the pits. I'm not the only one pitting. Lando's boxing as well, as is one of the Mercedes too. So I'm currently 17th and last. The rain is going to stop in 5 minutes. And the whole field is going to be bunched back up. So we're going to end up with like a 20-ish lap sprint race.
It looks like we're running on a dry track soon. Back to dry shortly.
On dry weather tyres. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be a medium set. It's either going to be 1 medium set or 2 softs. Now, if we're to rescue this race, we're going to need to get the change back to medium or to dry weather tyres absolutely spot on. We have to get that jump back to dry tyres 100% right. We are green flag racing again. Should be running on a dry track by lap 43 or 4 at the latest, I think. Still going to lose some time between now and then. Again, just because Australia, wet AI. That extra front wing has just made me slower in a straight line. It's not really done anything for tyre temps. I have a horrible feeling they're all going to go softs at the end and I'm going to be on mediums. And they're just going to race away from me. Okay, someone's had an incident and is dead slow. It's my teammate. Sick. Lance Stroll's knackered. His car's had it. He's got damage and he's slowing up this whole train. He's now doing a me. Probably is going to be softs to the end though, you know. Now, please tell me we're going to get some slick running in this Grand Prix. This is, you say quite a stinker. This is the smelliest Grand Prix of all time. Might as well take the risk. There is nothing to lose. Put soft tyres on, try and go to the end. I feel like I'm any slower than I was on the... inters. DRS enabled. We timed it right. We timed it right, and a lot of drivers are going around for another lap. Is anyone going to box?
DRS has been enabled. DRS is now enabled.
And what we want is to see those deltas in front of us drop like crazy on this lap. Still very wet in places. The fact that DRS has been enabled is both a good thing and a bad thing, because now everybody in front of us that is within a second of a car in front will get DRS down the straights where they're already faster than me. I think they might be in this lap. Some are, some aren't. Or no, in fact, everybody but the leader. Almost everybody but the leader is in. And they're going to mediums as well. I made the wrong call going to softs. Maybe. Everyone else going mediums, I'm trying to go softs. I don't think that's going to work. I might have screwed myself by going to the wrong tyre compound. Am I the only one to go softs? Yes. I'm the only one to go on to softs. Bugger. That says to me I've made the wrong decision. Fastest lap of the race. Just past K-Mag as he was pitting.
Nice work, mate. That brings you up a place.
I don't get it. I was P8 in quali. I'm on a softer tyre compound, and then Zhou Guanyu and a Williams in front of me. And they're pulling away from me. They are just so strong in a straight line that it counteracts anything I can do anywhere else on the track. I did change wings back, yeah. With there being 4 DRS zones on this track as well, those that have DRS are just able to go 15 miles an hour faster than me at every part of that circuit for the entirety of it. It's quite a battle, it seems, going on for the podium. I think it's Lando that's out front on his own. He is indeed. Then it's Lewis, Piastri, Perez, Pierre, Charles and George, I think, all chasing. Have a look at the mini-map bottom left, all the way back to the Mercedes, I think. And, yeah, George. All the way back to George. There's a 6-car fight for P2 at the minute. George just hanging on at the back of that. This is the mystery Grand Prix. Basically, it's a mystery as to why you struggle so much on controller with ABS turned on with front tyre temps. Because I don't know. And it's a mystery as to why when I put soft tyres on, a lap before they put medium tyres on, after I'd qualified 8th, that those that qualified 17th were significantly faster than me. Just a straight up mystery. So it was my intention to stream some Football Manager later in the week. That's not going to happen now. I can't sit on this and rest on this. I'm going to go and, in the next stream, instead of Football Manager, we will do the Chinese Grand Prix. Because I need to follow this up sharpish. I can't just let this sit for 5 days. I'm not happy with that. Just from my own personal performance point of view, let alone from an entertaining content point of view. I can't do it. So you'll see this video on Thursday morning, and Friday evening we will be streaming more Formula 1. We will do the Chinese Grand Prix on Friday evening. I know Australia is a very strong track for the AI, but I qualified 8th. So, like, I've got pace. I'd be curious to know what my pace would have been like if it was dry for the whole Grand Prix. Because the rain... I was competitive in the rain until there was a little bit of wear or there was a little bit of overheating tyres, and then it just fell off and I was 3 or 4 seconds a lap slower. Just purely because of tyre temperatures, which is an issue that is entirely out of my control. So... it is what it is. I've got 3 more laps. I'm just going to razz around Albert Park 3 more times and then cry myself to sleep all the way to China. Let's just get the car upgraded a little bit, shall we, for China. Improve that drag reduction. We've got a couple of other things in the works as well. And then hopefully we will be significantly competitive in China. And please cross your fingers and pray that it does not rain. I can't remember what happened in Australia Season 1, actually, when we were at Alfa Romeo. I'd have to have a look back at the footage and see if we had similar circumstances. I recall the first handful of races at Alfa Romeo really not going very well at all. Jeddah we got... no, Bahrain I got crashed out of. Jeddah I had a retirement, didn't I? With my engine going. And or tyre wear was super high. Might be getting the My Team mixed up with the driver career, but I think it wasn't until Spainish that we ended up getting decent results with Alfa Romeo. And then once we started getting decent results at Alfa Romeo, then the good results didn't stop coming. So hopefully that will happen again this year. And after being P5 in Bahrain, it's just a culmination of a number of things as to why this has gone the way that it has. So that will be P15 in Australia. It happens in real life where you just have a dud race out of nowhere. Happened to Aston Martin quite a few times last season as well. Pierre Gasly gets driver of the day. China will be better. It can't be much worse, can it really? We'll take that on the chin and go again. Who ended up finishing on the podium in the end? Because Lando won the race by a mile. It was Lewis. Lewis from Checo, from Piastri, who finished 4th in the end. So Oscar Piastri, I think, on the final lap was 2nd. The thumbnail image is from the final lap. And Piastri lost 2 places on that final lap to drop down to 4th. Lance Stroll gets a single point for the team, so he's off the mark for this season now, thankfully. I rather heavily lose my rivalry to Charles Leclerc, which sucks. But again, it is what it is. AdStars just told me that I finished 15th in Season 1 in Australia as well. This is great. My DRS mechanism is done. And something else on the engine side was also done there too. So as we progress towards China, we'll actually improve the car even more. Now, I would like to... 1800 for DRS is a lot. Weight redistribution, weight reduction, that's going to be not even able to be done, is it? Tyre wear I don't want to do. ERS, that's what I want. Let's improve the ERS. That's going to be massively important to help my competitiveness in weekends where I'm not as competitive. So we'll do that. We've got an aero... I'm out there when the cars go along with my findings. Department lead has more experience than the matter. I'll just go with the department lead. That's going to hopefully have the more positive outcome later down the line with morale going up and parts passing, etc. Wing mirrors pass. So that's drag reduction passed as well, which is good. So we are at China next. I might actually go with a harder tyre allocation in China. I did that in Creator Series and it worked quite well. Now, cross your fingers. Pray to the Lord of any given religion whatsoever that it does not rain in China. We want dry conditions. We have dry conditions. Hallelujah. Dry conditions. Oh my God. We apparently improved the car quite a bit. 5th in Bahrain. 15th in Australia. China will go better for us. Put the... actually, that's the more used part. Put the more used parts in for practice and quali to ensure that we minimise any potential penalties we take throughout the course of the season. But I'm still 6th in the driver's standing, so that's okay, I guess. We've aspirations of winning the title, but at the minute, it's not going to happen at the moment, but there's such a long way to go. And if I can have more Bahrains and less Australias, then we will certainly be competitive. It was, 50. See, it was from Canada onwards. From Canada onwards, we got points in Austria, and then it was dramatic improvement. We're hoping that we can just have dramatic improvement throughout and not worry about it from the off. We'll put Australia behind us. We'll go again in China, and fingers crossed, we'll challenge for a podium. That's what I'd love to do. Wait and see what happens. That's all for now, though. Thank you very much for watching the Mystery Grand Prix. The Chinese Grand Prix will not be far in following. Drop the video a like, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it, and I'll see you next time.